if you can listen carefully, you can hear all the crickets. I'm sitting in a field in Ohio, and if you notice in the back of me, you'll see a giant tower. That had me thinking. A lot of people ask me questions, would the ninja have adopted 21st century technology in our martial art? Should we be evolving it, or should we be a purist and a traditionalist and respect our teachers' scrolls and what they gave us? Should we stick to the 9 schools, or should we take them and adapt them? My opinion is, and has always been, trying to get into the mindset of a samurai or ninja of 400 years ago. They indeed would have embraced the technology. They indeed would have taken whatever was available in that time and used it to their advantage. So my opinion is, respect their tradition, know the katas that were handed to us, study them well, pull out the deep principles that these people lived and died for, and then adapt them, become the Darwin, become the Wallace, become the people who rip apart these things and evolve them into the 21st century. A couple of fun props here. You can see that this is a scroll, and this is what they might have used in 15th century Japan to relay information. They may have used colored rice or markings on the road. They would have a person run from one town to the next to convey a message via a scroll. Nowadays they would embrace these. They would be on the computer left and right. There's more power in this little cell phone than it's in all the technology for the last 200 years. It's astounding how much is in here. And as an intelligent gatherer of knowledge, you would use this. You would use that tower in the back as technology. You wouldn't be riding horses from one town to the next. You would be using the internet. You would be using radio waves and things that can adapt. Ninja of old would have used whatever weapons were available. They would have used swords and knives and pieces of steel and stones and anything that was available. Nowadays they would use a 1911, they would use a Glock, they would use a SIG, they would use whatever was available to get the job done. They would adapt to the modern day weaponry. They would not be a purist and traditionalist and stick with the old, because it wouldn't have been as effective. And you can't tell me that this isn't more effective than this. As an assault rifle is more effective than a Garand, and all these things, they have to adapt, you have to modernize. Getting away from all that though, just understanding that our martial art must evolve, it cannot stay stale and stagnant. From Hatsumi's mouth himself, I heard him say, you must take this art and make it a living art. It cannot be old and dead. Sensei Hayes has always said that his whole martial art was adapting the old scrolls into a modern day fighting system. Because our culture was different, our bodies are built differently. People fight differently in America than they do in the East. Everyone moves differently. You must respect the old masters of Japan and China and everywhere else, and know that they would embrace this technology in these modern days and times. So my opinion is, yes, learn the old scrolls, learn the techniques, know why the people lived and died and brought them back to us. Rip out the principles. Often they're not shown in the techniques. You have to find them out by practice. I'm fortunate enough to have a full-time school, and I teach well over 30 classes a week, so I'm always on the mat, and me and my students are always asking new questions. What if he does this? What if it fails here? How do we adapt ground fighting into our curriculum? How do we adapt modern weaponry? How do we adapt modern technology to make our martial arts superior to the olden days? Believe me, Hattori Hanzo would have been James Bond. The ninja spies and assassins would be the modern day CIA. We have to adapt. We have to embrace what is given to us. Live in your times, just as in the 22nd century, long after we're gone, they will embrace new technology. So my opinion is, respect the old scrolls, and then with your students and with yourself, find the principles and adapt them to what will make your job as quick and easy as possible. Always respect the old days, but also embrace the modern and new days. You must, in order to excel at your martial art. If you're just sticking with the old scrolls, you are living a dying art. You must adapt. You must evolve. That is my opinion on this. You can feel free to disagree, of course, but we'll continue our paths with mutual respect. Until the next time, from Ohio, Ohayou gozaimasu, have a good day.